Think about how we've raised our kids. You know, be polite, use your manners, speak clearly, introduce yourself, say the right things. You know, don't tell fibs, don't tell lies, don't spread gossip, don't speak negatively. Like, be positive, speak positively to your siblings. Like, we try to teach our kids this, right? So these are things that we've been taught, or we've tried to been taught, and we've tried to pass on to our kids. However, tonight, what I want to talk about or share is even more powerful way to use your words, and that's talking to yourself. Not the kind that puts you in the psych ward at the hospital. I'm talking about the kind that builds you up and gets you on the path that you want to be on. So let's start with a little challenge. Everybody give me a wave if you can hear me fine. Okay, now give me another wave if, and only if, you promise to do the two things I'm going to ask you to do. Awesome. Okay, here's the first thing. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to, when I say go, I'm going to ask you to count from 1 to 10 slowly. Don't race through it. I need time to do something else. Count from 1 to 10 slowly, and then the second instruction I will give you while you're doing that. Understood? Okay, so when I say go, you start counting. And Tanya, can you unmute everybody? This is going to be fun.
Oh boy.
This could get loud. Okay, so everybody ready?
Yeah. Why is going on my
okay.
petrol?
When I say go, start
Sending
counting.
to piece of paper.
Start counting from 1 till 10. Go.
One,
Sorry.
Not out loud.
Stop.
5.
Stop. I wasn't very clear. You're very good. You did exactly what I said to do. I want you to count from 1 to 10 in your head. Not out loud, in your head. Okay, ready? Go. Now say your name out loud.
Tanya.
What happened to your counting?
I had to think about it.
What happened to your counting when you spoke your name out?
It stopped.
Why did it stop?
Because I had to think about what I was saying.
We can't multitask.
Because sound.
You can mute everybody again.
Okay.
What?
Oh, except for you. Sorry.
Oh, me. Okay. So here's the deal with this. That's an exercise that I've done a number of times. I've seen it done with a bunch of people. And here's what is so important about what we just did. There's a real lesson in it. And it's this. The reason why you stopped counting when you said your name out loud is because your brain is programmed to stop and listen to what your mouth is saying. Your words take priority over your thoughts every single time. You can't fight thoughts with thoughts. That's why people get in so much turmoil when they're going through a tough time. They'll just sit there and they'll roll stuff over in their head over and over and over. They'll try to think their way through this business. They'll try to think their way why it's not working, why nobody's calling me back, why nobody's doing this. And those thoughts sit there and brew. But as soon as you start speaking, like we just did in that exercise, thoughts stop. So what I want to get across to you guys is what you have to say is extremely important when it comes to your life. So if our words are so important, why don't we talk to ourselves more? We listen to the words of everyone else concerning us, when in reality, our brain gives more importance to the words coming out of our own mouths. The challenge is often that when we hear the negative words of others, our words generally fall in line. So think about this. How many of you have heard things like, you know, you've talked to people, family, friends, and they've said, oh, you know, those businesses never work. Nobody makes any money at those. Or what was another one I liked? I guess well, those are the two I liked. So this business never works. You don't make any money. So we've all heard those, right?
Yes.
Here's the danger. What do you say when you hear that and you're talking to somebody? If you're not well grounded in your beliefs and in your why and why you're doing this business and who you are as a person, then likely the first thing that'll come up out of your mouth is, yeah, you might be right. And as soon as you do that, what you've done is you have given more importance to what they've said, but by you acknowledging it and accepting it, you've told your brain to accept what they said as truth for your life. You just bought what they were selling. And we do it all the time. We do it with our coworkers, we do it with our spouses, we do it with our kids. Anybody that questions us, if we don't know who we are and what we believe, we'll step back and we won't say, no, you know what, I'm not accepting that. And I mean, you don't tell them that, but you certainly don't speak and give credence to what they said and then take that on in your life. That's what I'm referring to. So now this is a plexus training. I haven't talked plexus yet. So this is a plexus training. So let's bring it in to what we're doing and how it applies. You have a business that you're very excited about. You want more customers, right? You want more ambassadors. How about wanting your ambassadors to have more ambassadors? Because I love something Tanya said earlier, and I wrote this down because it just, as soon as she said it, this went off inside my head. Because you remember you said that this business is not just about you? And this is what went through my head as soon as you said that. I said, the only time this business is about you is the day you enroll. After that, it's about everybody else. Not about you anymore. It's about the people you bring in. So we all want more ambassadors. We want our ambassadors to have more ambassadors. We want our business to succeed. And we certainly have a ton of training and resources available to us. But there's one ingredient that the $1 million earners in this industry all agree on. The most important aspect of our business is how we talk about it. And we need to make no mistake that our business is a living, breathing thing, and your words are either going to make it succeed or die. Now, I'm sorry, usually I just kind of talk off the cuff, but there's too much in this that I didn't want to miss. And I've got these notes so we can post them later for anybody that wants them. Now, we all speak from who we are, right? We all understand that. We are who we are. Everybody has their own story and all that. My upbringing's church, so I'm going to throw one little thing in here. And I think some of you have probably heard this, but there's a little verse in the Bible that says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. So if you love life, you're going to eat the fruit of life. If you love death, you're going to eat the fruit of death. So the death, I like to look at it this way when it comes to plexus. The death or life of your business is in your tongue, your words. We need to learn to speak words that build up our business, that build up our teammates, that build up our upline, that build up the leadership of the company and the company itself. We need to be writing out affirmations that we speak over ourselves every day. And a lot of people think this is airy-fairy. It's not. When you're speaking affirmations, you have to understand how, I mean, you can dig into this on your own time, but this is something I've been doing for years. And I can tell you with absolute conviction that when you start speaking the life that you want, the business that you want, and all of that, everything in you will start trying to find ways to make that happen and bring it to you. Your thinking changes, your thought processes change, your decision-making changes, what you say changes. When you speak, everything inside of you goes to work to bring that to pass. So, and how the easiest way to prove it is, how many people have gone to the mailbox, gotten a bill in the mail, and the first thing out of their mouth is, oh, great, here we go again. Be honest. Who said that? I know most of you have at some point in your life. And what happens is you end up getting into a self-perpetuating kind of lifestyle. So death and life of your business is in your words. We can have, sort of think how to explain this. Take the 7-figure earners, the guys and gals making $1 million a year or more. They have the same rank up roadmap. They have the same IPA sheet. They have the same comp plan disclosure form. They have the same income disclosure. They have the same price list. They have the same opportunity presentation. They have the same diamond documentaries. They have the same back office. They have the same everything that we all have. What do they do that's different? And I can tell you without hesitation, the number one thing they do over and above everything else is they purposely decide how they're going to live their life, what they want their business to look like, and they speak that into existence. Your words are things, like actual physical things. If you think about back to when Henry Ford first got the idea of building a horseless carriage, it started as a thought, but eventually he spoke that out. And when he spoke that out, it started to take shape. It started to get wings put to, well, not wings, but tires and all that other stuff. So everything starts with a thought. It's got to come out of your mouth. You just can't think your way to success in this business. You've got to speak. You've got to open your mouth. That is the one thing that we've been given over every other creature on the planet that determines the course of our life. We get to choose with our words what kind of life we want, where we want to go, how we're going to respond, what we're going to say, who we're going to say it to. Follow? Like, it's so, so important. Now, I'm going to read this to you because this is an example of one of the affirmations I use for this business. And I do it most days, not every day, but most days. But I want to show you something. This is my day timer. And in here are my affirmations. That's 2 of the 5 pages. And there's all kinds of things on there like, I don't know, like one of the things I say to myself every day is I attract the favorable attention of business owners and high net worth individuals that can make decisions. I mean, what's the most frustrating part of being in Plexus? Talking to someone that can't make their mind up. It drives me nuts. It's like, just make a decision. It's $34. It's not rocket science, right? But one of the affirmations that's really simple that I started using a long time ago, it goes like this. And this is from Brian Carruthers, and you can download it off his website. He's got a nice little graphic. And it says, I am building my own financial empire using the only vehicle that enables me to do so, my network marketing business. I know by focusing my heart, my energy, my passion, and my action on recruiting people every day, I'm building my dream and I'm financially independent and debt-free. I am a leader of people. My work is my ministry. I am changing thousands of lives. There's no other place where I can have this much fun, help others, and get rich while doing so. I am the top recruiter in my company today. People are dying to be on my team and they want me to show them how to succeed. I get people to see the recruiting presentation every day. When others reject, they're not rejecting me. They just don't understand. And for that, I don't blame them. I remain strong. I resolve to help every person realize that they need to be a part of this crusade. Every person I meet will one day soon be on my team. I am a champion. I am a warrior of freedom. I am an expert recruiter, a winning coach, a caring teammate, and a fearless leader. I am because I say I am, and today I'm going to go out and I'm going to recruit the next me. That's something that's very simple, and so I know there's a lot of you. I just read that. I know that, and I know exactly what's going through your head. You're like, well, that's not me. I'm not all those things. You don't have to be. Words change things. Teachers know this better than anybody when they're working with students. They know how powerful words are in a student's life and how it can change the trajectory of a student and where they're going. What I said in there, I'm not all those things yet either. But when I say those things day after day, I am telling my brain, I'm telling my soul, I'm telling my heart, I'm telling my intellect, guys, go do whatever needed to be done to put me in that position. Everything in me will work to see that come to fruition in my life if I speak it. All you have to do is look at somebody and listen to them talk for 5 minutes, and you can tell exactly where they're at in life. You can tell exactly what they're putting in their mind every day, like how much TV they're watching. You can tell, oh heavens, you can tell how much news they're watching just by listening to them. what they're talking about, how they're talking. And you have to be very careful, because if you listen to all that stuff, you listen to all that negativity, and you don't say anything, it's like you're like a sponge and you let that seep in. And what happens, there's another little verse in the Bible that says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And I like how Eric Worre put it. You're like a lemon. And if we squeeze you tight and pressure you, is lemon juice going to come out, or is something sour going to come out? If you sit and listen to negativity all day and listen to coworkers nag and complain and go on, and you let that seep in there and you don't physically say anything to yourself to counteract it, when you get into trouble, or when somebody doesn't like your presentation, or they don't call you back, or they think it's a scam, or they think it's this, or they think it's that, you're getting squeezed. What's going to come out of you when you get squeezed? When we read affirmations like that, I'm putting in me what I want to come out of me when I get squeezed. And you're going to get squeezed every day in this business. So that's my little, there's a whole lot more to this, but I cannot emphasize enough how important it is that you learn to talk to yourself. And as crazy as, I remember the first time, listen, say it, reading, that's one thing. I took it one step further, and this is crazy. I took these things and I did a video of me reading them to me. Try going to the gym and working out and watching yourself tell yourself that you're all these things. Like, that's a little nutty, but you know what? It works, because whenever I'm at the gym, I have this all recorded on audio. So I'll play it to myself. It's about 8-9 minutes long. And I'll listen to that over and over again while I'm at the gym. And I can tell you that the days that I do that, my outlook and my attitude about this business and what I expect, off the chart, off the chart. Ange and I have been doing this for a while, and I can tell you unequivocally, this, a lot of you know my dad passed away the first part of this month. And I think that happened on January the 5th. And then we went into a bunch of meetings at the church that we were committed to that we couldn't really, I guess we could have got out of it, but I'm glad I didn't, because it was a nice departure from what was going on. But we went into that, and then we went into a gender reveal for our first grandchild that's coming. And then we had Dad's funeral. And so until the 15th of the month, we didn't work in our regular business. And Ange was saying, you know, what are we going to do? We've got no business. It's been, you know, and you start talking. And I just looked at her, I said, Ange, stop. I said, we know where we're going. We know what we're going to do. Business will come through the doors. It's going to come from where we don't expect it. It's just going to show up, and we're going to be ready for it. We're going to receive it. We're going to do it. We're going to help people. I said, you watch what's going to happen. God's got our back. I'm not worried about it. We're going forward, and we're going to have the best month we ever had. And that was on the 15th of January. By the 25th of January, not a word of a lie, the best month in the 32 years that we've been in the business that we're in. It blew our minds. And we're sitting there going, we just looked at each other, and all we could do was high five. It's like, because if I had gone the opposite way and said, well, what are we going to do? Oh, we don't have anybody to talk to. We don't have, you know, I've run out of prospects. I've run out of this, you know, nobody's interested. We've called everybody we know. No, you haven't. There's 7 billion people on the planet. We have come nowhere near talking to everybody that's out there. So change your words, change your vocabulary. I'm telling you, I posted this before the meeting started. If you get a hold of this and start practicing this day in and day out, you're going to have to go into your bathroom and shut the door at first, because your family's going to think you just went right off the deep end. But do it. It will change your life. It'll change this business, and you'll watch your business skyrocket. But when you do your affirmations, add some affirmations in there for your business partners, your ambassadors that are under you. Like, even some of our affirmations are, our customers, we declare every day that our customers get good results on the products. They have no side effects that are negative. They lose weight. They get healthy. We speak that stuff every day. We expect that to happen. We expect all that stuff to happen. And no, it doesn't always happen, but you know what? I don't focus on that. We focus on what we want, and we speak to what we want, because that's the only thing we can change is what we say. And so we're going to talk that way instead of that way. You're up, Tanya.
That was so awesome. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh, I love it all. Love it, love it. And I started like changing some of the verbiage in my affirmations as you were talking. Like, yeah. And you know what? I don't have 5 pages. I have like 4 things. I need to expand my vocabulary.
Well, basically, when you're writing out affirmations, like we've all sat down and written out our why we want to do the business, what rank we want to be, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, obviously, Ange and I want to be diamond. So instead of getting so tunnel vision on, okay, we got to get to Ruby, our affirmation is every day, it's awesome to be a diamond ambassador with Plexus. The benefit, we just talk about how good it is and the benefits of it and what it's like, and our focus gets onto that, so that when it comes to senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, you're it's not that you're bypassing it. How can I explain this? Oh, here's how I can explain it. Remember when we all started to learn how to drive a car?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember? I'm assuming if your parents taught you how to drive, they taught you this, especially on a turn. What did they tell us to do? They said, when you're going around a turn in a car, don't be looking out in front of the car and, because you're kind of going like this. They always told us, when you're driving a car and you're going around a turn, you look about 4 car lengths in front of you to where you want to go. And you will automatically steer to that spot. You don't have to think about it. So affirmations are basically kind of that idea. You're looking at where you want to go so that you automatically go in that direction. But most of us get stuck right here. Oh, nobody's calling me. Nobody's getting back to me. Nobody's doing this. They don't like it. Plexus almost killed me. Good grief. All the stuff that we've heard, all the junk we've heard. You got to get away from that and look at where you want to go. And when you look at where you want to go, we want to go to diamond. When you look at diamond, then you'll make that turn and progression naturally all the way through senior gold, ruby, senior ruby, emerald, whatever comes after that.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love the driving analogy too. So awesome. Wow. Thank you, Julie, for being our secretary tonight. We appreciate it. And Mark, you said that you threw that up on Freedom Revolution. Is it where you put it?
Not yet. I can put it up.
Oh, yeah. I think people would probably like that. I'm seeing nodding. Yeah. Oh, and Julie says, and I just put it there. Awesome. Thanks, Julie. So listen, thanks, Mark, for speaking. I'm going to be bugging you again. That's okay.
Where did you get that?
Where'd she get what?
She typed out the whole thing.
She has her sources.
Whoa.
Telling you, she's a sharp one.
She is a sharp one. A little sneaky, too.
Yep. So I'm not sure what happened to the recording, guys, but it's a good thing you were here live, because we caught most of Mark. But the get over your damn self stuff, it was recording when we started. I don't know what happened. I noticed halfway through. So it'll start with basically probably 2 or 3 minutes into your talk, Mark.
Okay.
Sweet. All right. Thanks for coming, guys. Have a great week. Use this stuff.
Just about. Night, everyone.